some hockey.
You are watching Gouche Live featuring Paul Rosen. Paul is not with us. He's back next week, but I got my good buddy Josh Gratton. Josh, I couldn't make it back home. I got stuck in traffic. So it's the first time ever Gouche Live is being run out of, well, I think Paul says it's the Mercedes studio. So mine today is the Kia.
Nice.
Where are you at?
Yeah, the Toronto traffic, it can be a tough one sometimes. So, yeah.
It's unbelievable. Well, it's so beautiful now, of course, and you're not used to it anymore. You're up in Collingwood, so it's probably pretty busy up there. But what happened here is that the highways and the road I always take home is pretty quiet. But now that people are thinking that this COVID thing is gone, everybody's moving, everybody's shaking.
Yeah, that's it. As the sunshine gets everyone moving, that's for sure.
And you know what I think is it too is that they've opened up here in Toronto or just outside of Toronto where we are, north of 7. You can now go to bars. You can have more than 50 people in an establishment. So I'm thinking that's probably got everybody excited. So what's going on up there? Are you guys pretty much open?
Busy. Yeah, it's pretty busy up here. The beach is packed all the time, and the village is super busy. So I live stone throw away from the village, so I see a lot of people. It's a little too busy for my liking. I like it in the down season, but well, it's definitely entertaining.
Well, I can't wait for our Gouche Live meetings up in Collingwood. We can get downtown and have a beer together.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to
it. Are you a golfer?
Yeah, I get out there quite often. Yeah, a couple times a week I try to get out. I'm not very good, but I'm getting better. You got to play a lot to get good, so I'm trying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, listen, really excited about today's show. We've got Barry Shelley, he's one of our loyal fans, and he's built this thing called the Rink of Dreams. It's actually up in his attic. And what's amazing about it, the reason why he's always sending me stuff. And I always thought he was the next Hockey Hall of Fame. And it ends up, it's not a bunch of pro stuff, NHL stuff. It's about AHL, East Coast. He's got some really obscure things. So I'm really excited to talk about that. But you've obviously met collectors before, guys, and really are dedicated to that, getting autographs and that. It's a big part of our business and our industry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so it impresses me so much what some people will do to wait to get signatures, something signed. They'll go to the end of the world to get a signature sometimes. But it's definitely something that all the players respect and enjoy and appreciate. That's for sure.
All right, I got to ask you this question because I've lived your life, not in the NHL, but over in Germany, and they're crazy soccer fans. Where's this place you had to sign an autograph?
Probably some baby's forehead, I think, the one time in Kazakhstan. It's a little too much, but you try to say no, right. And they're waiting in line for an hour just to get their baby signed. It was incredibly weird, but anything for the fans.
That's a clean one. I had to sign a sponsor's wife's bum. True story. You can't make it up.
She probably still has it on. She probably still has it on there.
She probably got. You know what's really funny about that statement is we had Gretzky over and a guy named Dan Oveston, really big supporter of the Ice Hockey Classic, which you'll be coming to and hopefully helping Paul win for the first time. But what happened was we had this big event. Gretzky was there in Sydney, Australia. It was a big, huge gala. And this guy paid $4,000. Really, really nice guy. But he wanted to sit by Gretzky at his table. He paid $4,000, which, okay, that's a deal when you think about it, sitting with Wayne Gretzky for a couple hours. And he got Gretzky to sign his arm. And the son of a bitch the next day went and got it tattooed.
No way. That's actually pretty smart. That's pretty cool.
It is. Yeah. It's really cool. One of the only people.
No
Listen,
doubt.
Also, I'm really looking forward to Sunday. We've got your buddy Luke. Well, I apologize. I don't have my papers in front of me. They're at home. But what's Luke's last name?
Barella. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. Had a great chat with him. And I'm excited about talking about what you guys are doing together.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable at what he does. They have a business here, Primitive Patterns, and they're starting to train hockey players too, in a primitive performance side of things. So they're definitely growing really big, really quickly, and they're about to open up a new gym here in about 2 months. So right now it's just kind of out of the garage, and they got so busy so quick that they had enough money or enough business to go and open up a big gym. So it's an exciting time for those guys. They're really good at what they do, and they're really fun to be around. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Fantastic. I look forward to it. Before we get Barry on, I just want to go through some of the quotes on hey Gooch, it's Shoppy, our European correspondent, in the Mercedes studio again. No, I can't afford a Mercedes. I'm in the Kia. It's a Kia turbocharged, so maybe next year I can do it. Listen, Larry, all the way from down in the States, he's a Winnipegger. He's in. Robert Wine, thank you for making it. Robert's such a crazy guy, Josh, and you've met these guys before. Very similar to Barry. We're really honored that they believe in what we do, and they're always getting to the show. Robert hates to miss any of our shows, and his scooter broke down. Robert's that guy from the Canada 5 who's been obviously is disabled, but just the biggest heart in the world. So they were going to fix his scooter over our show, and he said, no, I got to watch the show. So Robert, thanks for being it. And then of course, there's our buddy Paul. Can't wait to be back Monday, and I can't wait to get you and Paul back together. We can maybe next weekend we can get a mental health talk going again, and maybe you can bring on another guest with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. I appreciate all the support from all those fans there. That's awesome.
Fantastic. And final one, Steve Rosen, Paul's brother. Great to have you on. All right. Listen, this guy's as crazy as they come. He's got autographs from everybody and anybody. He's got autographs he doesn't even know. He's built this rink of dreams. It's in the Cooperstown house that he lives in, and it's in his attic. And again, I'm not the biggest baseball fan or the most knowledgeable. I shouldn't say biggest. I love the Blue Jays. They start tonight. I'm going to have my Blue Jays hat on. But he's in Cooperstown, and he's got a Hockey Hall of Fame in his attic. Barry, what's going on?
Hey, Gooch. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Barry. How you doing?
Good. I'm not a huge baseball fan either. I grew up here, and I played, but now I'd rather watch hockey.
Well, thank God we don't have Paul on, because he's Mr. Baseball. He knows everything about it. So he's probably upset that he can't be on with us right now. But listen, we talked about this a couple days ago to get you on. Well, I'm really excited about the Rink of Dreams, and I know you've got some autographs. I've seen a couple of pennants. We'll get that up in a few minutes that Josh signed. But talk to us about the Rink of Dreams. I noticed you had said that you've only been to one NHL game. So Josh and I are going to fix that up. We're going to find a way to get a ticket. Where's Cooperstown? Josh, you know where Cooperstown is?
No, now we're south of Utica. Now we're north of Albany.
Okay, yeah, you have to be tough. You have to go to Buffalo, but they're not making the playoffs anytime soon, so you're in trouble there. You have to wait till the next season.
Okay, you got my word that Josh and I and the boys will figure out how to get you a ticket to Buffalo if that's close enough. We've got a couple of connections, and we'll get you to another NHL game. But you've collected stuff from the AHL, East Coast League. We're going to show some of these really cool artifacts. Josh, you'll love this one. He's got a huge Slapshot collection. And we've got a couple articles there. So first, why don't you tell Josh and I and all our...
I'm sorry. Before we go on, yesterday we had a little, I mentioned Doug Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Doug now?
I do not.
Okay, he was in the movie Goon, and the book was based on him. He played for 3 or 4 minor league teams, IHL, AHL. So, but I remember you said to remind you, so I just wanted to.
That's right. So there's another Barry Smith, older, that broke his neck many years ago, and he's a motivational speaker in Ottawa. He's phenomenal. Okay, so talk to Josh and I about the Rink of Dreams. Why, and how did it get started?
Well, I've loved hockey all my life. Growing up here in Cooperstown, no hockey at all. I used to go out on the streets while it was frozen. I didn't have skates, so I just slide around in my sneakers with the puck. Finally, I got some skates and went down to a dead-end street, and just skated by myself for hours in the morning for school. When I got home from school, I'd go and skate. And then I'd sit outside of my dad's international truck every winter, turn the radio to Whoa Radio. You probably heard of Whoa, Josh, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They did the Fort Wayne Comets. And I listened to that every night. And the first time I listened to her, I heard her name, and I thought, this is about me. His name was Barry Shelley. He was a player for the Fort Wayne Comets. That was her. Then after that, I'd go inside and I'd sneak back out so I could go to the end of the street, under the street light, and skate some more. And I did that from, when I was in 5th, 6th grade, all the way until I graduated. That's all I did in the wintertime. And then I got in the Air Force, and with all the skating I did, I was able to make the base teams. And from then on, I just, played. And then when I got out, I never had a place big enough to do this. And then we got this, and I just put a net up in the attic, and I go up every night, shoot at the net. And then I figured, this could use some boards and paint, and I started all that. And then I'm a huge Flapshot fan, so the 2 flights of stairs leading to the attic, I filled that up with pictures, posters, sticks, gloves from the movie. And then once I got up here, I don't know, to tell you the truth, I just started decorating the board with all the team emblems, and it just snowballed. And then I still wasn't happy, and it says, this be plexiglass. Well, plexiglass costs too much, so I got some PCP pipe and chicken wire and put that around to make it look like the old days, because I used to go up to Clinton, the Clinton Comets, and they had the fence instead of the plexiglass. So, and then I just started adding things, and I figured I'd start a Facebook page, and one by one, players from around here who played for Syracuse, Rochester, Binghamton, they started, joining, and it just snowballed. And from then on, I just been collecting every little thing I could that involves hockey. And if some player had a kitchen sink, I'd probably have that up here. And tell you the truth, this has nothing to do with hockey, but I have a original Tim Horton pie tin. So anything that deals with hockey, I have.
That's as Canadian as it gets right there.
Huh?
That's as Canadian as it gets right there, the Tim Horton pie tray there.
Oh, yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah. And I wasn't really an autograph seeker. I was too embarrassed to go up to any player. I only went to minor league games, but I was I didn't want to take their time and, ask for an autograph. So, but,
Hey, Josh, I think you can attest to this, that a lot of guys they love people coming up and asking, and some fans do get intimidated. Why is that, do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe some fans think they're a little bit nagging, but I think a lot of fans are intimidated just by the celebrity status of the players. But every player that I know would never turn down giving an autograph. That's for sure, especially to a fan or a young kid or anything. I haven't seen it with my own eyes. That's for sure. And for myself, I enjoyed taking the time and signing the autographs. I kind of miss those days when people were asking me for my autograph, because it's a sign of respect from them, and you returning the favor as a sign of respect towards them as well. So it's
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
What do you have a piece of memorabilia? Did you collect something like Barry? Did you say, "Wow, I gotta have one of these"?
Yeah, well, actually, I got Wayne Gretzky to sign a stick. When he was coaching me in Phoenix, I had a stick back home.
Good.
When we came and played in Toronto, I told my grandfather to bring the stick so he would sign it. So it was a pretty special moment for that. Just the fact that I had it from when I was a kid and I got him to sign it as my coach. It was a pretty cool experience.
Now, Barry, we're going to walk through some of these items that you've sent me because they're pretty unique. and you can describe it. Try and keep the answers short so the people that we can throw out some other stuff at you. But Josh, we had Gretzky over in Australia. I think I told you that. What a great guy! Like I know there's some people that said he was so as a coach and all that sort of stuff. But I'll tell you what, he was such a nice guy. Like he took time out for everybody and anybody. He signed everything, even though his agent said he wouldn't sign anything, and he ended up signing everything.
Yeah, he's as professional as it gets, and he makes time for everybody. Even when we were on the road, it would be 3 a.m, and there'd be people asking for autographs coming in the hotel, and he'd be the last one in the hotel and make sure he get them all signed. So he's a class act on every level.
Steve Rosen's adding in very, now that you know it, you don't be afraid to ask, because hockey players are the best at dealing with fans, because we're really down. The problem is in today's industry, Josh, you know that too. A lot of guys are scared. These collectors are just getting it and throwing it on eBay. But if it's a legitimate signature, nobody's ever going to question that. All right, so here's a cool item that you sent over to me. Tell us about this. It's the World Hockey Association.
That was a plaque I got. I have some World Hockey Association items, and I found this. This was, I have to admit, I got it off of eBay. It was from down in Georgia. The person had no idea what it was, and I don't have a lot of money, and just a few bucks, so I bought it, and I know a few players that were in the league, and they verified that that's the real trophy, and I have it hung up behind me on the wall.
What was that for the WHA? Is that what
WHA? He was one of the founders, and then he helped the league along. And then when he retired, they gave him the plaque.
Cool.
All right, Josh, were you old enough to remember the WHA days?
No, but I know like a couple of my buddies' fathers played in it and got drafted in it. So it was a little older than my time, but I know a little bit enough about it to know that it was one of the best leagues in the world at the time.
Barry, did you watch the WHA days or no?
No, I didn't watch any games growing up. We didn't have any stations. All my hockey until I got to 10th or 11th grade was all radio.
Well, I got really lucky, guys. I was from Winnipeg, of course, and I came through the Winnipeg Jets organization. And in the WHA days, they had Bobby Hall, Ulf Nielsen, and Anders Hedberg, which is arguably one of the best lines ever compiled, including the NHL. So it was pretty special. All right, here's a cool jacket. Where's this from?
That belonged to Walter Bush Jr. He was the president of USA Hockey. He's in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame in Minnesota, and he's also in the National Hockey Hall of Fame. I got this. He died, but I got that jacket from him along with a number of other items from the Czech when he went over there for junior tournaments. You know how they hand out gifts at center ice? Well, he got that. I have stuff from the Seoul Olympics. I have hockey sticks signed by different teams and golf shirts with USA Hockey with his name underneath it. And so, like I said, I didn't really know him at the time, but hey, it's part of hockey, and I wanted that for the ring.
Now he's not related. He's not related to the Bush family that were presidents in that, right?
No.
Well, here's the next one. I know Josh going to have a question about this because he loves these guys in there. Zimmerman, what's this all about? Hey, we lose him?
No, right here. I had to go and get the jersey.
What is it?
It's his jersey, very first jersey he wore in the International Hockey League with his name on it.
Super cool.
And
now, was he famous?
Well, he spent about 13 years in the league as a linesman, and I have to admit, the members, I do have some NHL members in the Rink of Dreams, but most of the players played in the minor leagues, and to me, they're all superstars. So, no, he never made it to the NHL, but that doesn't matter to me. And I sent him a picture to sign, and he sent me this back saying he wanted it up in the rink, and I have an officials locker with even Paul Stewart's own band that he signed for me.
Hey, Josh, you know Paul Stewart?
Yeah, just from like, just not personally, I don't, but I know lots of stories from him as repping. Yeah.
He was but he was also a very tough NHLer, and I think Barry, we really appreciate as players, especially me not making it to the NHL. You know, hockey's more than just the NHL. NHL is great; it's the elite of the elite, no question. But I'll tell you what, Josh can admit to it. Josh, there's probably a lot of guys that you played with that just didn't get that break or that extra opportunity to play in the National Hockey League, but they were phenomenal hockey players.
Yeah, it's such a fine line. There's so many guys that get passed over like that. I can name thousands of guys that were good enough to play in the NHL that just didn't get that chance. Or it wasn't in the right place at the right time. And, you know, it's unfortunate because I've seen some super skilled players that get passed up, but, you know, that's part of the business and the unfortunate side of it.
Josh, could you mention one guy that you had in that you thought maybe, or maybe in question, why the heck did he, who's the best guy that you were with that maybe we didn't get a chance to play in the NHL?
There's a couple, but like some young Tony Bose was really good in Philadelphia in the American Hockey League. He scored a ton of goals as a rookie, just really small and just couldn't get that chance. And he was super skilled. He played at Boston College, I think, and he had a bunch of records broken there too. But yeah, there's guys. There's one or two on every team that probably could play, but just didn't get the opportunity.
Hey, and Barry, to point to you from Stephen Rosen, without the minor leagues, there is no NHL. So thank you for doing what you do. Here's a question from Stephen too. Do you have anything from the Miracle on Ice?
I have a couple signed programs from Herb Brooks. I met him after I came back from the service. He was coaching the Utica Devils at the time. And a friend of mine that was part of the junior Saskatchewan Hockey League wanted me to say hi to Herb and tell him that he's invited to come back fishing. So I went up to Herb after the game and, you know, Mr. Brooks, I have a friend out in Minot. He said he wants you to come out and fish with him when you get back to Minnesota. He looked at me and said, son, you've been had. And I thought this guy just set me up just to go up and ask him that. Herb started laughing. He put his arm around my shoulder and said, no, he knows I hate fishing. I'll never go out on that, boat. And then he walked down the aisle with me just asking what I'm doing in Utica. And so he was such a great guy.
Minot, Minnesota. My goodness.
Minot, North Dakota. Yep.
North Dakota, sorry.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Winnipeg, so we would go back then. It was crazy. Josh, have you ever seen, and very same to you, have you ever seen that little kid that's the Herb Brooks in Miracle on Ice?
Yeah, he does the whole speech. It's awesome. Yeah.
F the Russians. This is our time.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, coming out of our European correspondent, Shoppy, he's asking you a question, Josh. Grant Bessie?
Yeah, I played with him in South Carolina. He's playing in Krefeld right now, and he's on another year deal. I was actually just speaking with him the other day. He's on the golf course. He golfs every day. So I don't know if he's getting ready for the season or not, but he's definitely golfing a lot, and he loved it in Krefeld. All but everything good he was saying about it.
Hey, I know Paul's watching. Paul, somehow Shoppy always gets a connection into Krefeld if it's not a hot dog, a hamburger, or a schnitzel. Hey, listen, Andre Bordelot, good friend of yours, I assume.
Yes.
Barry is doing a shout out. If you go to Cooperstown, go into the liquor store to salute Barry. Now, I hope that means we don't have a drinking problem.
No, I don't drink.
Hockey.
I don't drink. Every person that comes in, not so much now, but we don't have any tourists this year. But in the years past, we have a lot of Canadians. And throughout the year, I'll bring a duffel bag full of old hockey cards and anything. And if I see a Canadian kid walk in, I'm always talking hockey, and I say, "Who's your favorite team?" And I'm always making sure I have every Canadian hockey set that I can get, and I hand them out to the kids. And I found a lot of friends on Facebook that way. I just, I love seeing their faces. They said, "That's the last thing I thought I'd see in Cooperstown."
Now, sorry, do you work at the liquor store?
Huh? I work there now.
Oh, forgot. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah,
Thinking, what
no. Oh,
hey,
no,
Josh,
I just go
what
there
did
and
you hang
hang
out at
out.
a liquor store for? All right, here's a great jacket. Tell us about this.
Oh, that is an old leather jacket from the
Kitchener Rangers.
Rangers. Yeah, sorry,
Kitchener Rangers.
Kitchener Rangers. I started, besides cards, pictures, scrapbooks. And my niece has scrapbooks. I collect jerseys and old leather jackets, and I have Turnbull, the battalions. Back here, I had the Estevan up near you, Gooch. The
Yeah,
Weyburn,
that's right.
Weyburn Red Wings, and then I have an old,
Saskatchewan?
Oh,
In
and
Saskatchewan?
I have an old Notre Dame Hound.
Oh wow,
that's right. Very
Yeah,
famous. Hey, listen, Josh, did you ever get to wear one of those leather jackets?
no, I never did. But that one of the Kitchener Rangers, my grandfather had one because he played junior there, and that just reminded me of his. So his is a little older than that one, but
when they got wet, holy Jesus!
oh yeah,
it was a workout just getting back. Here's a great one. Tell us about this. What's this, Barry?
Okay, last year I had the extreme pleasure of having Reggie Kent come up. I do a Rink of Dreams weekend for all the players. So last year I had about 30, 35 players show up for the weekend. This year it's only going to be about 10 or 12, but he came up last year. He played for over 15 years for the Johnstown Jets. And they retired his jersey, and he brought these two seats that was in the movie Slapshot before they redid the arena, and he gave me those. And also, when Arthur Irby was injured, he spent about a month with Arthur, skating with him, getting him back into shape. And Arthur gave him the hockey stick and said, "Thanks for working out with me." And I felt bad. I feel bad about getting things. I do. I'd rather give stuff away than I have, but Reggie said I have his locker right across here. He'd rather have it up in his locker so everyone can see it. So.
No, but I'll tell you what, some of these things get lost along the way. Josh can admit how many jerseys you've had, Josh, that, I look back on my career. I've got 400 jerseys in my whole, that's not how many teams I played for, but I got 400 jerseys in my collection that are given to me in celebrity, all that stuff that you do along the way. But some of the jerseys that I actually wore were auctioned off in Germany and I just think back and I'm thinking, God, I wish I would have had that or had somebody like you, Barry, that I could go back and think about. Is there a jersey in your collection, Josh, that you either don't have anymore because it's gone to the wayside that you'd love to have back?
Yeah, you know what? I don't have my first NHL game jersey with Philadelphia. Wearing number 46. I usually wear number 24, and someone else bought it online, and I haven't really seen it since. But I have pretty much all my other jerseys. A lot of them are framed up, and the ones that meant a lot to me are all framed up. The ones I won championships in, and my Phoenix Coyotes jersey and Flyers jersey. But the one jersey I don't have is my first NHL game jersey, unfortunately. But hopefully one day that turns up. We'll see.
All right, Barry, that's your job, buddy. You got to go.
I was going to say that I'm great finding stuff, but I'll keep an eye out, Josh.
All right.
I appreciate
What's this?
that.
This is the Comets.
The Fort Wayne Comets. I became friends with Blake Sebring. He's written, I think, about 4 or 5 books on the Fort Wayne Comets. And Josh, you probably heard of Bob Chase, the longtime announcer.
Yeah.
Well, he wrote a book about him. And again, it took me months to write and ask if he would sign the jacket. And of course, he was happy to. When I got it back, he had over 20 former Fort Wayne Comets sign the jacket, and a lot of them are in the Fort Wayne Hall of Fame. And that hangs up in the rink along with a lot of stuff from the Fort Wayne Comets.
Yeah,
Hey,
they
Barry,
have
Steve,
a really big tradition there in Fort Wayne. There's lots of good old hockey players there. The fans are very loyal in Fort Wayne. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
hey, Barry, Stephen Rosenberry's Paul's brother's on. He's just a hockey nut. They both love Chicago Blackhawks, so they can't be that smart when it comes to hockey, but they obviously love it. And Stephen's saying, what a collection. One day I got to hook you two up. You'll probably talk for days just on one or two articles. Here's another great article. I was trying to figure out what it was. I know it's got Richard Zednick, a great player, of course, with the Portland Winterhawks.
Yeah, these are plaques. A plaque for a plus minus award, leading scorer award. Then he got one from the OHL, the most valuable player award, while he was playing for Portland, and that hangs up. I have a number of old Binghamton Dusters, Whalers plaques, and that's one of the plaques. Well, four of the plaques that I have up. And unfortunately, he had that serious neck injury. I believe he was with Florida when his neck got cut, and he no longer plays. But it's just something to to recognize him and for people to see.
Oh, Barry, I'm gonna have to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, please go, Josh.
I'm gonna have to get your address and send you one of my jerseys that I have here, so I can be in your Hall of Fame there.
Well, I think I have you already.
Yeah, well, you got to get
no,
one.
No, not jersey. I have a team signed pennant.
No,
I'm gonna send you a jersey.
All right, Josh, I'm going to send you one of mine too from Germany. I'll get one of my German ones, so both of us will get that off to you, Barry. But we got it next time we talk, and you get both of them. We got to see them hung up in the Rink of Dreams.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Oh, no worries. Thanks for that, Josh. Josh, is there something, one of the memorabilia items that you played, you won a Memorial Cup? Is there anything that you hold? I know in the NHL they give you kind of a replica of the Stanley Cup. In the Memorial Cup, did they give you anything outside of
Lots of pictures of memorabilia, but they didn't give it just the rings and some commander team pictures and stuff like that. And Phil, I got the 3 rings here, or not here exactly, but I got the 3 rings. They're in a case back in my grandparents' house and just sitting there. But those things I'll cherish forever. They're memories, and they're really a class act from the teams of how nice the rings are.
That's fantastic. What do you got for us, Barry?
I got this watch. It's from the Houston Aeros from the AHL Championship 2000 and I believe 2. It's the watch they gave the players.
No way.
Is it a Timex?
I have no idea. It's no.
Is it still working?
Yeah.
Jurgensen. Okay, yeah, they're very similar. Okay, what is this? Is this a spittoon?
That is a silver ice ball, and on the very top, you can see there's an emblem soldered on top. That is the emblem of the Baltimore Clippers. That's way too young for you, Josh.
Yeah, I never heard of the Baltimore Clippers.
Now, they were in the East Coast Hockey League. You've heard of Kenny Reardon. He played up in Montreal. Okay. His brother, Terry, he also played. He coached the Baltimore Clippers, and this came out of his office. And I verified it. I know a coach that played there as a player, and a couple players that played there, and they verified that during Christmas parties they would go in and they would see that, and they would use that for ice.
Barry, how old are you? How old are you, Barry? How old are you?
59.
Because Ken Reardon, the goaltender, that's a long time ago. I think it's only black and white pictures of him.
Oh yeah, I had pictures of him in here, and like I told you, as you know, I have. Oh, you want me to talk about this one?
No, keep going. I apologize.
I'm huge on old scrapbooks, and you never seen this one.
Look at
You've never heard of the Calgary Centennials from 1967-68. This is when Bobby Clark played for Flin Flon, and I have actual photos and articles with Bobby Clark in here. And I just got a box off of eBay. They wanted $5 for it. 16 pounds of 1940s, 50s, and 60s hockey clippings. And it's been taking me months. I haven't even got. I didn't know how much 16 pounds of clippings is, but I'm going to be. I'm going to be spending my next few paychecks on just getting binders to put them all in. But I had when Toronto last won the Stanley Cup back in the 1700s, I think. No,
that's a little early. But hey, Josh, did you ever meet Bobby Clark?
Yeah, he was the general manager when I had first signed a contract with Philadelphia. So I had
pretty cool dude, eh?
Yeah, he's awesome. Dude, he's really laid back. He's not as at first I thought he was going to be a lot more intense, but he always has a smile on his face and positive things to say. He was definitely a class act.
No, he's bigger than life, right? Because when you meet him, you're looking at him, you're thinking, hang on a sec here. He's that small and he's that tough.
Yeah. He's just a little. You would never think that he's as small as he is, but he had big, nice, fake white teeth. He was always smiling. So
that's right. You're right. He's showing those things off.
Yeah, rosy cheeks and white teeth.
Yeah. What about this jacket? 1976.
Okay, a friend of mine. Huh?
Whose is it?
I have no idea whose it is. A friend of mine came to the rink. He played for the Syracuse Blazers. He wanted to get me a gift. This came from a friend of his, and it belonged to the coaching staff of the 1976 Canada Cup. I went through the inside hoping there'd be some name. There isn't a name. There's a Canadian clothes tailor name, but I don't think there'd be any way I'll be able to find, who.
What you do is you send me, Barry, if you can find out the size, Hockey Hall of Fame here, and Ron S. So we'll see if we can help you figure that one out.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Send me a text. All right. Here's a real cool one. We know that Josh is not going to remember this one, but I know you've heard all the stories. In 1972, I think I was in grade 6, and I was actually literally, Josh, and I'm sure I don't know if you got to see the series down there, Barry, but I was literally in school. Everything stopped, and the teacher, we had this huge black and white TV, and it had the rabbit ears, and he was having to move it, and
Ah.
we'd see, and Henderson's Canada.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I got that
stopwatch. Yeah.
Italy. I was stationed in Italy, and even in the service, if I was, out shopping, I'd look for any antique store to find anything I could on hockey. I went to this antique store and I found this, and you could tell it has an inscription in Russian on it. Well, I got it, and it's up in the rink, and I showed the picture of it to a couple people who could speak and read Russian, and it's from some grandmother who gave it to her grandson, congratulating him on a great game. So, I don't think he played in the series, but I love that watch.
So up here, of course, you being American, up here, Team Canada 7-2, the Summit Series is our iconic event for ice hockey. And I know down there you have the Miracle on Ice. In your mind, and of course, Josh, you would know it through history in that. As a non-bias, because you didn't see either one. Well, I don't know, Josh, maybe you saw. No, you wouldn't have seen 1980 either. I saw both of them. As a person that never lived it, have you ever heard which one people thought was the best?
Depends what country you're in, I guess.
22. Yeah. No, but you're being unbiased.
Me?
We'll take that as, We got out there for a sec. I'll take that, Josh, as it was Team Canada's. We'll take it as it was 1972 series.
Yeah, it has to be for me. Yeah.
And believe
All
it
right, you're listening. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I only lived 3 hours from Lake Placid, and I missed that. Because 79, I graduated, and that August, they sent me to Korea, and I was away during the Olympics in Lake Placid. But I did get to hear it on the radio over in Korea, on Armed Forces Radio. It was at 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's
I was
right.
the only one up in the day room, and I swear I woke everyone up at about 5 in the morning when they won. And I got a little trouble, but it was worth it. And for the next 3 months, I was sky high. I was like, I didn't actually see the replay of the game until about a year or so later after I came back to the States. And I finally saw it. And I still cried the first time I saw it too.
Yeah, when I played over in Germany, Barry, I got a chance to listen to radio. We were very close to Lahr, Germany, and they had an Air Force base there. And I listened to American Forces Radio all the time. It kept me very entertained with college football. And of course, this is a biased statement. Steve Rosen, a true Canadian, his brother Paul won a gold medal for Team Canada in the Olympics at para hockey. He's saying the greatest goal ever was Paul Henderson's with 34 seconds, and I'm going to agree with that. Or maybe it was Crosby beat the Americans in 2010.
Yeah,
Pretty big goal.
that was a good one too. Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, you've been listening to Gouche Live featuring Paul Rosen. We got Josh stepping in to help out with this great interview with Barry Shelley. Josh, I know you got a couple of questions for Barry before we let you go. Away.
Yeah, what was what's the hardest autograph that you get? What did you do to get an autograph to go out of your way to find someone to sign something?
I've never gone out of my way. Everyone has always been so, the worst part was, like when I first started this, I wanted to ask, my very first autograph was from Tom Laidlaw. He's a member of the rink, and I was so, because, Rangers, Kings, he'll never answer me. I wrote him, and he said, yes, send him. I sent him a jersey, and he signed the jersey, sent it back, and it's like, I just couldn't believe that he would do it for an average person. I'd never played hockey, I thought, but that's one thing I found, no matter if they played minor leagues, they only made the juniors, they made to the NHL. Every player I've come in contact with has been so, so nice, and, and now it's to a point where I'm not really that afraid to, ask anyone. I still hate asking. If they offer, I was like, okay, but I hate taking gifts too, so I don't, But I found that living in Cooperstown, I could tell you for a fact, hockey players are so much different than baseball players. Oh God,
no question.
I cannot. And tell you the truth, growing up here, that's where I thought, I was never around hockey players, but, I thought they would just be like baseball players, a lot of them are pretty, I don't want to use the word snobby, but, some of them are, and, granted, every sport.
Use the
Huh?
Hello?
Hello? Oh. I just
we lost you there for a sec.
Yeah, every sport has good and bad players. I'm not going to say, hockey, every player, but every sport has good players and, and players that you shouldn't really,
You just got to catch the players on a day where they've scored a goal, and they'll be super happy.
Mm-hmm.
Or want to fight.
That's it.
Hey, listen, final question from you, Josh, to Barry.
What's your favorite piece of memorabilia you got?
Oh, God. I had to apologize to everybody when Gouche wanted me to send him 10 photos. I have over 800 items here. And,
all right, pick one. Pick one.
There's got to be one special one for you.
Pull it out.
Oh, I got this in the mail, out of the blue. It's Murray Howell, 9 Lessons My Dad
Murray Howe, yeah.
I never, wrote him or anything. He heard about the rink, and he sent me this book to Barry. Best of luck with your rink of dreams. If you build it, they will come with hockey sticks. Murray Howe.
How great is that?
That's awesome.
Oh God! When I opened that up, I was like, "Oh my God!" And I can't say this is my favorite to all my favorites, but this is one item that blew my mind when I got it. And this been
well, listen, Barry. When we get out of this, I say when we get out of jail and we collect a couple $100, we'll buy some gas and we'll drive down and we'll visit the Rink of Dreams. I'm going to make sure it's on my bucket list. I want to take a picture with you at center ice in your Rink of Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you, nice hat. I got to ask you this question. What's the future of the Rink of Dreams? Or what's that next Josh and I can go out and try and find?
It's still, I've been doing this for 3 years. It's still going strong. Next month, I'm having a group of players here. Steve Carlson, who was in the movie Slapshot, he's going to be doing a live Zoom for all the players here. Last year, George Finn showed up. He played Rocky in the movie Youngblood. And he came up and spent the day. He loved it. And, what really means the most to me, one player, he came up to me and he said, "Look, I was a good player. I wasn't great. All the great players went to the NHL, to the Hall of Fame. But to me, this is my Valhalla. This is my Hall of Fame." And he hugged me and thanked me. That, oh God, that meant the bunch. And I had a friend who's a huge Portland fan, and this is the old Portland Buckaroos. This was from the late 60s. And this was their fan club hat they used to wear. So he wanted me to give him a shout out.
Super
That's
cool.
Fantastic.
So,
hey, well,
like I said, a lot of stuff I have, it's hockey, but it's not hockey.
It is hockey. Every piece in there is hockey. And I'll tell you what, that's why Josh and I are sitting in our jerseys, so we can be in a Hockey Hall of Fame called the Rink of Dreams.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. Hey, Barry, thank you for being such a loyal fan. Thank you for being such a positive influence on the game of hockey. We need more of you that take time and energy to keep us remembering where we came from. Because a lot of times, today in this day and age, we tend to forget. And with the internet, people aren't taking enough time to touch the history of our game. And you're certainly one of those guys that's keeping it alive all the way I guess you call Cooperstown a city, I'm not sure, but it's baseball, but we've got the Rink of Dreams in an attic in Cooperstown. So thank you for that.
Oh, no problem, Gouche. And we're only like a size of 1,000. That's all the people that live here. So
how many?
1,000. During the winter time, it's about 600 to 700 because a lot of people come up for the summer and then they leave winter. And wintertime is dead. And
Do you have a Tim Hortons? Do you have a Tim Hortons?
Oh.
Do you have a Tim Hortons?
Our nearest McDonald's is about 25 miles away.
Starbucks?
No.
Okay, Josh, we have to go down. If we have to go down there,
we might have to bring you here instead.
But I do make a mean dish of poutine.
Okay. We'll hold you there.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Barry.
Take care, Barry.
Talk to you next
Okay,
week.
take care, guys.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, how cool is that? I know, it's sometimes you do these things and, we've had some great names on it, and thank you for being a part of this one because it's the first time we actually have had somebody that is so passionate about the game and wants to show the history of the game, yet never.
Yeah, just to see how much he's smiling, it was awesome. He's so excited and so passionate about it. It's definitely something that makes me excited and happy to see that.
Yeah, it was really cool. Listen, I know we've had a little bit of an internet glitch here. I'm going to see you on Sunday. We're going to get Luke on, and we're going to talk about all the great things you're doing now. And of course, as this pandemic is continuing, I just noticed that in Canada, the number one problem that we're having is outside of obviously the virus itself is abuse for women. And I know that that's just horrific to hear about. I know none of us want to see that, but it's a result of the pandemic. And I know all the great work that you're doing to try and help us get guys on the level, and Paul and that sort of stuff. So I want to keep on getting that message out that, listen, we're here for you. If you're struggling, make sure you reach out to one of us. We'll announce something next week once you and I get together, Paul and I, and we're going to start. We started our Give a Shit for Mental Health. I think it's time that we really start letting people know, as this thing drags on, we need people to know that we're all here for them if they're struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely nothing to take lightly in that, and I'm looking forward to working with you and Paul, and get that rolling.
All right, buddy. Okay, you enjoy Collingwood. I know it's nice up there. You have a great weekend. We'll see you on Sunday.
You as well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, buddy.
See you guys.
Josh Gratton. Wow. Always a pleasure to have him on. I know that Paul's aching to get back. Paul, if you're still on, buddy, can't wait to see it. We need the Rosie's rant. Rosie's rant. Hey, listen, I want to thank Stephen Choppy for coming on. Always love that. So I really enjoyed you guys joining the show. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow at noon, 12 o'clock. I'm doing a special interview with Franz Reindl. He is the architect of German hockey. He's the guy that has helped develop it into a powerhouse. Who would have thought that Germany would become a powerhouse? But they've got not only Leon Draisaitl, but they have a bunch of young players, as Tim Stützle probably drafted in the second or third overall. I'm really excited, and we'll have Shoppy, our European correspondent, on. We'll be talking some German. As you know, I spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, and we'll have a little bit of fun with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time out with Gouche Live, featuring Paul Rosen, of course, brought to you by the good people at the Hockey News and Paramount Sports Management. Thank you, and good night.
Let's play some hockey.